हरिः ओं नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य भाषा प्रवेश प्रथमभागस्य 8:40 कक्षार्थं भवतां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। ह्यस्तनकक्षायाः पुनस्मरणं यः वयं च अपि एव इति यत् एतेषाम् अव्ययानां पाठं वयम् अधीतवन्तः। तत्र प्रमुखतया पुस्तकाभ्यासं वयं कृतवन्तः। 35तमं पाठं वयं समापितवन्तः। पुनः अर्थं वयं जानीमः। च इति सर्वदा समुच्चार्थ्य भवति, अपि इति तदपि आल्सो इति अर्थः भवति, एव इत्यस्य पुनः ओन्ली और सर्टेन्ली इति अर्थः भवति, इति तथैव यत् एतयोः पुनः अर्थः वेरेवर् वी यूस् कोटेड् वन्स्, यत्र उल्लेखनं भवति तत्र एतयोः प्रयोगः भवति इति वयं दृष्टवन्तः। अस्तु, इदानीं वयम् अग्रे चरामः। एकवारं वयं कुत्र स्मः इति वयम् एकवारं पश्यामः। अत्र भाषाप्रवेश प्रथमभागे वयं अत्र एतान् अंशान् वयम् अधीतवन्तः। अत्र विभक्तिपाठेषु प्रथमा द्वितीया षष्ठी सप्तमी विभक्तिः अधीताः। तथैव लकारेषु लट् लोट् लङ् लृट् अपि वयम् अधीतवन्तः। अतः अत्र टिक् इति मिस् कृतमस्ति, क्षम्यतां। अतः सर्वे लकाराः अपि समाप्ताः, तथैव पञ्चविभक्त्यः अपि समाप्ताः। तथैव प्रत्ययाः इत्यस्मिन् क्रमे तत्र तवत् प्रत्ययं वयं समापितवन्तः। तथैव अग्रे क्त्वा ल्यप् तुमुन् एतानि त्रीणि पदानि सन्ति, वयं पठामः। इत्युक्ते क्त्वा ल्यप् तुमुन् एतेषाम् अध्ययनं वयं कुर्मः। तथैव इतरविषयाः इत्यत्र सप्तककाराः अव्ययानि सम्भाषण उपयोगी पदानि अवशिष्टानि भवन्ति एतानि। तत्र पुनः सम्भाषण उपयोगी पदानि सर्वदा अन्तिमकक्षापर्यन्तम् अयं विषयः प्रचलति। पुनः अव्ययानि अपि अन्तिमकक्षापर्यन्तं प्रचलति। तथैव सप्तककाराः प्रायशः विभक्तिपाठसमापनसमये तस्यापि समाप्तिः भवति। एवं स्थितिः इदानीं भवति। इदानीम् अग्रिमपाठः भवति प्रत्ययानां विषये। तथैव तत्र त्वा ल्यप् एतयोः प्रत्ययोः अध्ययनम् अग्रे भविष्यति। तत्र यथा पूर्वं वयं जानीमः, प्रत्ययः सर्वदा धातोः वा नो चेत् प्रातिपदिकस्य वा अन्ते एव प्रत्ययः भवति इति। इत्युक्ते साक्षात् धातोः प्रयोगः कुत्रापि कर्तुं न शक्नुमः। उदाहरणार्थं गम् इति धातुः, गम् इति शब्दम् अधिकृत्य किमपि वाक्यम् अस्माभिः रचयितुं न शक्यते। तस्य किञ्चित् परिवर्तनं कृत्वा पदनिर्माणं कृत्वा तदनन्तरमेव तस्य प्रयोगः शक्यते। गम् इति तस्मात् परं लट्लकार तिप् प्रत्ययः तत्र प्रयुज्यते। तथा गच्छति इति रूपं भवति। तदनन्तरं गच्छति इति प्रयोगं कृत्वा वाक्यनिर्माणं वयं कर्तुं शक्नुमः। साक्षात् गम् धातोः प्रयोगः कुत्रापि न भवति। तथैव यस्य कस्यापि वा धातोः प्रयोगः साक्षात् न भवति। सर्वदा एतादृश परिक्रमः भवति। अन्ते विद्यमानं पदम् एव वाक्ये प्रयुज्यते इति वयं स्मरामः। उदाहरणं गम् धातुः, तस्मात् तिप् इति लट्लकार कश्चन प्रत्ययः भवति। अन्ते गच्छति इति रूपं, गच्छति इति अस्य प्रयोगः भवति वाक्ये, यथा बालकः गच्छति इति। तथैव प्रातिपदिकम् इति स्वीकुर्मः चेदपि तत्रापि साक्षात् प्रातिपदिकस्य प्रयोगः कुत्रापि न भवति। उदाहरणं राम इति शब्दं स्वीकुर्मः चेत् रामशब्दस्य प्रयोगः कुत्रापि न भवति। तदनन्तरं राम प्लस् कश्चन प्रत्ययः तत्र भवति। उदाहरणार्थं सु इति कश्चन प्रत्ययः, अत्र राम प्लस् सु प्रत्यय योगे तत्र रामः इति रूपं प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनरूपं भवति। अतः रामः तदेव पदं भवति। रामः इति पदस्य एव वाक्ये प्रयोगः भवति। रामः गच्छति वा, रामः आगच्छति वा, रामः खादति वा, किमपि। परन्तु साक्षात् रामशब्दस्य प्रयोगः कुत्रापि न भवति। अतः प्रत्ययानाम् अध्ययनं अतिमुख्यं भवति अस्यां भाषायाम्। अतः तादृश क्रमे तत्र बहवः प्रत्ययाः सन्ति। क्रियापदनिर्माणार्थं पुनः नामपदनिर्माणार्थम् एवं बहवः प्रत्ययाः सन्ति। परन्तु अस्मिन् स्तरे भाषाप्रवेशप्रथमभागे केवलं चतुर्णां प्रत्ययानामेव वयम् अध्ययनं कुर्मः। तवत्, त्वा, ल्यप्, तुम्। यदि प्रत्ययः इति वदामः सर्वदा प्रत्ययः धातोः वा नो चेत् प्रातिपदिकस्य वा अन्ते भवति प्रथमं। द्वितीयं प्रत्यययोजनेन तत्र नूतनपदनिर्माणं भवति। तृतीयं तादृशेन निर्मितेन पदेन कश्चन अर्थः अपि भवति इति विषयत्रयं वयं स्मरामः। So 3 things when you say pratyaya, 3 things can happen. First thing is pratyaya will always come at the end of maybe after the dhatu or pratipadikam. And the second is when you attach a pratyaya, it can produce a word which is usable in the sentences. And the third thing is when we produce any or when we derive any such word, that will have its own meaning. Okay, for example, tavatu iti pratyayam swikurmah chet gam dhatoho tavatu pratyayyoge gatavat iti rupam bhavati. Ataha gatavat, gatavan, gatavati iti rupani bhavanti. Ataha pratyayah ante bhavati gam plus tavatu. Anena yogena padanirmanam bhavati. इत्युक्ते अत्र प्रातिपदिकनिर्माणम्। अतः गतवत् इति प्रातिपदिकनिर्माणं भवति। पुनः वाक्ये गतवान् गतवती इति प्रयोगः भवति। अर्थः भूतकालार्थः भवति। लिङ्गानुसारं भूतकालार्थः भवति। The same way for whenever we read any pratyas, we should try to understand these 3 things. Additionally, if possible, we'll also try to understand what kind of pratyaya it is. Basically, to which it is going to get associated with, and what is the outcome if we associate that pratyaya. For example, tavatu pratyaya can get attached to only dhatus. It cannot be attached to any pratipadikams. Okay, for example, we cannot say Rama plus tavatu. That is wrong. You always say gam plus tavatu, or da plus tavatu, or pa plus tavatu. So you can take any dhatu plus you can attach tavatu pratyaya. So it's because this pratyaya can get associated only with dhatu, first thing. And certain pratyas, of course, there are certain pratyas which will get only associated with the pratipadikams. We'll study them later. Okay, and that is one thing we need to understand, to which it is going to associate. And after associating and after we derive the word, what is the outcome of what is it going to produce? Is it going to produce a namapadam or kriyapadam or pratipadikam or dhatu? So definitely one of these 4 can be there. Nothing other than this. So sometimes when you attach gam plus tavatu, it produces gatavat, that is a pratipadikam. Okay, so that way we have to know what is the input, what is that added or prefixed with the pratyaya. And after completing the derivation, what is the outcome? So what kind of outcome we are going to get? So this is something we need to know. So in that series, we will start with the next pratyaya. So we will start with the next pratyaya in the syllabus. So that is the tavatu pratyaya. Okay, so first thing, as usual, tavatu pratyaya will come only with dhatus. It cannot be associated or added to any pratipadikams. It can be attached to only dhatus, first thing. And the second thing is this will produce, you can take it as a namapadam. This will produce a namapadam, and meaning, that's what we are going to see it now. Okay, so with that background, let me take some simple example how tva pratyaya is going to be used. Okay, let us take 2 sentences. One is balakaha vidyalayam gacchati, balakaha patham patati. So the individual meanings of these sentences are: boy goes to school, boy reads the lesson. So these are the meanings for these two sentences. But in certain cases, we might want to join these two sentences to make a single sentence in such a way that boy goes to the school, boy goes to the school and reads the lesson. So basically, after going to the school, boy reads the lesson. So basically, one action precedes the other one. So first he goes to the school, then he reads the lesson. So in that cases, we can probably join these two sentences with tva pratyaya padam. So what we say is, the left hand side sentence that happens first. He goes to the school first, and the right hand side sentence comes later. Then he studies the lesson. See, only in that cases we can use tva pratyaya. So basically, one action happens after the another action. That case we can actually apply tva pratyaya. Okay, so now where do we apply and how do we apply? So always tva pratyaya is applied on the preceding kriya padam, or the dhatu which is used on the kriya padam. Okay, for example, gacchati the gamana kriya and patati the patana kriya. So in this example, after going to school, he reads the lesson. So in this case, the gamanam happens first and patanam happens next. Okay, so whichever kriya happens first, for that we will be using the tva form. Example here, gamana kriya, the dhatu used here is gam. So probably we'll take gam plus tva pratyaya, then we will derive the final word, and that we will be using it to join the sentences. Okay, let us see some example, the joint sentence now. The sentence is balakaha vidyalayam gatva patham patati. Okay, so here there is absolutely no change in the remaining part of the sentences. Like balakaha vidyalayam, only gacchati changes to the tva form. Like gacchati, the dhatu of gacchati is gam, and gam plus tva becomes gatva. Then patham patati. Of course, balakaha will not be repeated because it's a single sentence and we don't want to repeat the subject again. Okay, so balakaha vidyalayam gatva patham patati. It's so simple. So now how do we choose this is the kriya padam or this is the dhatu to which we have to attach tva? That is based on the whichever kriya happens first or before the another kriya. So here gamanam happens before patanam. So for gamana kriya we'll be using the tva form. Okay, that is first thing. And second thing is tva. So this is whatever we get, gam plus tva, it produces the gatva. That gatva word is a nama padam first of all, it's not a kriya padam. And the second thing is this, whatever it produces, that is an avyayam. Okay, so that means as usual when we say avyayam, it will not, of course all avyayams are nama padams for sure, but it will not have linga, vachana, vibhakti forms. So it will not change based on the lingam, it will not change based on the vachanam, it will not change based on the vibhakti. So there are no vibhakti forms, there are no vachana forms, there are no linga forms. It's always gatva is the same form everywhere. First thing. And second thing is, there is no tense or anything attached to it. So basically the meaning of this word is after going, that's the meaning it actually produces. So balakaha vidyalayam gatva patham patati. So after going to school, boy reads the lesson. Okay, so this is the meaning we are actually getting out of this. So hope it is clear for all of you. And of course, how do we get this form? I would suggest as a beginner, you start going through the list of verbs with these forms and initially try to memorize or remember these forms. There is no shortcut right now. Okay, but the closest or somewhat easier shortcut is, if you know the dhatu of the kriya padam, probably you can guess what is a tva form. For example, for gacchati, the dhatu is gam, and gam plus tva, and it becomes Gatva. It's something resembles the same. Okay, first thing. And that's about it. So this is what I wanted to, this is all I wanted to highlight with this one. Okay, let us see another example. So Vayam Natakam Pashyamaha, Vayam Griham Agachamaha. So we see the drama or the play, and we come to home. So after seeing the drama, we come to home. So that's the meaning we wanted to generate by joining these two. So basically, after seeing the Natakam, we come to home. So in that case, the Pashyamaha, the Kriya there is Darshanam, and Agachamaha, the Kriya there is Agamanam. The Darshanam happens first. After Darshanam, the Agamanam to home happens. So in that case, the first Kriya is Darshanam. So in that case, you can actually use Tva form for Darshana Kriya. So the Dhatu for Pashyamaha, the Kriya Padam is Drish is the Dhatu. So Drish plus Tva, it becomes Drishtva. The final sentence is Vayam Natakam Drishtva Griham Agachamaha. So after seeing the Natak, we come to home. Okay, that's the same. That is the meaning. So and remember, this is just gives the previous action or the previous kriya, but it doesn't mean that it will be in the past tense or it will be in the future. It will, because this Tva Pratyaya will never talk about the tense or the kala, especially time, whether it is happening in the future or past or present. So based on the actual Kriya Padam of this sentence, we will come to know what tense it is in. For example, Vayam Natakam Drishtva Griham Agamishyamaha. So we will come to home sometime in future, but after watching the Natak. But we might have already watched Natakam yesterday or today or tomorrow, we don't mind. But we'll definitely come home in future. But by the time we come, we would have watched the Natakam. That's the meaning. Okay, that means that Drishtva will never express the tense at any time. And similarly the same for Balakaha Vidyalayam Gatva Patham Patati means, of course, he reads the lesson, but we don't know when he went to the Vidyalaya. He might have gone today or he might have gone yesterday, we don't mind. But he went to the Vidyalaya before he started reading the lesson. Okay, that is one thing we have to remember that. Okay, that is one thing I need to highlight. And one more thing in overall for the Pratyayas. So you might have some questions like it is Tva Pratyaya, basically it is starting with Kakara, but the final form does not have Kakara. Similarly for Tavatu Pratyaya, the Pratyaya starts with Kakara. The Gatavat, the form does not have Kakara. That's because generally the Pratyayas, we will not directly apply any Pratyaya to any Pratipadikam or Dhatu. So of course the Pratyaya itself undergoes some kind of transformation because through the Ashtadhyayi Sutras. But after the transformation, the leftover piece is Tva without Kakara. And similarly for Tavatu, the leftover piece is Tavatu, just without Kakara. And that is what is going to attach it to the Dhatu or Pratipadikam. But of course, the Tavatu and the Tva both will get attached to only Dhatu. So after removing Ka and a certain kind of transformation, it gets attached to the actual Dhatu or Pratipadikam. That's the nature of any Pratyaya. But what gets dropped or what kind of transformation happens, that depends on the Pratyaya, and that depends on what kind of derivation we are trying to make and what kind of meaning we try to produce in the other rules. But we are not going to deep in that. For now, the Tva Pratyaya, it means after some Kriya, if second Kriya happens, for the first Kriya, we can actually use Tva form to join the sentences. And the second thing is, not necessarily we'll be using Tva Pratyaya for joining two sentences, but we can also use Tva Pratyaya for joining three of them. For example, Balakaha Vidyalayam Gachati, Balakaha Kridati balakaha patham patati. So boy goes to the school, boy plays, and boy reads the lesson. So assuming that all three happens one after the another, okay, that case we can use balakaha vidyalayam gatva after going to vidyalaya, kriditva after playing, balakaha patham patati. So here there are two tva forms indicating that there is some other kriya happens after them. So for gachati, the tva form is gatva, and for kridati, the tva form is kriditva, and of course there is no other following kriya for patati. So for patati is the final kriya, so we'll use actual kriya. So hope it is clear for all of you. So that's what I wanted to highlight with this lesson. If we are able to understand these concepts, I think we are done with this chapter. That's all for today. Thank you all for watching this video online. Please log into forum for asking any queries, or if you want to interact with teachers or students. And subscribe to this channel Sanskrit.Today to watch more videos like this. And share this video with your friends and interested people or group. And make use of the comment section below the video to post any suggestions, feedback, or queries about this session of the series. And finally click on the like button. And thank you for watching this video online. Let us meet in the next session. Dhanyawadaha.